Hello and welcome to our first ever live audience. Hello everybody. Evening. You wide awake? Just about. It is our first ever HTC Pubcast. It is the Offside Rule Euro review of the group stages, brought to you by HTC, and I'm pleased to say we have a very special guest with us tonight. Ray Parler is to my left. Hello, Ray.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. I'm certainly in Arsenal land now. I'm very happy.
We're going to start with our first topic, and the first topic today is all looking back on the group stages in both the Champions League and Europa League, and we're going to ask, and you should be aware as well of what our topics are, so we might come to you at some point. Be ready. What's your favourite moment involving UK opposition and why? And who's been your favourite non-UK team to watch and why? We'll start with the first element, and as we always do on our podcasts, we'll start with Hayley McQueen.
My moment, actually, let's talk about the fans, and in particular, Everton fans. They're enjoying Europa League action this year. They finished top of their group. They'd already qualified and was storming through before that final game. And the fans travelling out to places like Germany, beating teams out there, but mainly fans that have travelled over as well. And the club actually, very recently, in their last ever game, they lost, didn't they, at home? They put out a very young side. But they're a really great community family club. This is what I like about them. I love Roberto Martinez. He's one of my favourite people in the whole wide world. So this is just my loving for Martinez and all that Everton have done as well.
We're going to come to you next, Ray, for your answer. And you're the first guest we've had, certainly a male guest, to interact on our topic. So what would you go for as your favourite standout UK moment?
Certainly, I was very pleased that Arsenal obviously got through. At one stage, I thought they wasn't going to get through. I thought they made hard work of it. But certainly, UK-wise, it was definitely Manchester City.
Now you can tell which one of us is the brave one of the three of us, because you're sat next to me, and I'm going to say my favourite UK moment came from Spurs. So, but I am going for a plain showboater here. I loved this goal. Did anyone else just in awe just go, Eric Lamela? Rabona. We were actually at that game, weren't we, Kate?
We were there, and it was really difficult to tell what had actually happened sitting in the stands. It wasn't until afterwards, and you see all the close-ups, that you kind of see how special that goal was. And it was a real honour to be there, actually, wasn't it?
So I've picked that out, but I just wondered, as an audience, I know we haven't got many Spurs fans, but let's pretend for a second. Would you take, because since that goal, he's gone on to score once more in the League Cup against Brighton. He's not got any more goals. He's not a striker that's in form. Would you trade that Rabona for 10 tap-ins? Would you? Yeah? A few yeses there. Point made.
Just to annoy things further for you, Ray, I'm going to talk Chelsea, actually, and the art of knocking them in. No Chelsea player has scored more than 2 times. Great fact, shows the depth in their squad. Which Chelsea player, striker, hasn't scored at all in the Champions League group stages?
Anyone? Tash.
Chelsea fan at the back. It's Costa. Yeah, well done, Tash. Yeah. Yeah.
Give that girl a football. We've got 20 to give away. And your favourite non-UK team you've enjoyed watching and why?
Mine's kind of a really obvious one. It's a team I love following. It is the one and only Real Madrid. However, they didn't score the most goals in the group stages. As Kate will say, Chelsea was 17. Actually, Real Madrid with 16. However, they still managed to get through the group stages completely victorious in all 6 matches. It's just remarkable. We know they play sexy football. We know they have a few sexy players as well.
Who would you rather have? Real Madrid front three or Barcelona? Neymar, Suarez, or Messi, and Ronaldo, Benzema. Probably be up front with Bale or James.
I can see why people would pick Barcelona, but I like the height of Real Madrid. They're strong, they're big, they're tall. But these are footballing reasons, obviously, Ray.
What? Who's got the best midfield? No.
I'll be very quick with mine. I like an underdog. I do like an underdog, and also since the 2013 Champions League campaign, where I followed Borussia Dortmund through to the final, went to the final at Wembley, thanks to Hayley McQueen, who sorted me out with the tickets. I got to do that publicly, thank you.
8 games on this evening, Tuesday, 21st of October, set a record for the most number of goals with 8 games, 40 goals. And I was keeping across the matches on this night, and I just couldn't stop flicking between the channels and my phone as well, trying to check in with all the goals going in. An amazing night of action, just to refresh your memory.
Was
on
that your
this one.
HTC phone, Kate?
It was my HTC phone. I had my football feed open. And my football feed was literally smoking. Like, there's so many goals going in, it could barely keep up, but it did.
Right, it's your turns now, because Sean Thorne, who usually does our Twitter topic of the week...
Yeah, we've got some tweets which have already come in. Sonic, his favourite player, was Matic at Chelsea. Aidan Linning, his favourite team from the foreign leagues. Ludogorets qualifying by putting a defender in goal and saving 2 penalties. Huge moment for them. Anything they'd want to throw in for this topic? Any particular?
Any hands? Anyone got anything to say?
Yeah.
So I think one of the standout games was Anderlecht's comeback against Arsenal when they were 3-0 up. I think that was a great game as well. I don't think no one expected that.
Funnily enough, Ray omitted that one from his brain. We want to know which players have stood out for you in the Champions League and Europa League, which players and why.
Okay, I never thought I'd say this. And it's a Manchester United player. That's right, because he's out on loan at the moment. I had to get the Manchester United thing in, didn't I? It's Nani. He was absolutely rubbish for United.
Leading goal scorer. I think the next guy's got 9, isn't he? Yeah. But they're all from open play, Lionel Messi's. I think he's got 2 or 3 penalties, isn't he? The guy from Shakhtar, isn't it? So that's why I'm going to go the obvious choice, Messi.
Obvious, but he got the Champions League record as well for goals scored, hasn't he? 75. Ronaldo chasing that down now. I'll go to Europa League then, and I'm going to go for a goalkeeper, because goalkeepers don't often very much get a mention, do they? Tim Howard for Everton. Everton winners of Group H. Have we got any Everton fans in? I just heard a yay. No. Tumbleweed. But just Hayley loving Roberto Martinez. But yes, I just thought that Everton, Tim Howard, 29 saves he made in total. He matched a Europa League record, making 12 saves in 1 match, and that was against Wolfsburg.
A much maligned player, actually, and I love watching Benzema. I've always really enjoyed watching him and following his career. From being sent to a weight loss clinic sort of back in 2011 to where he is now, I think he's come on. I just hope he gets recognised, and if he doesn't, I hope he gets a move to somewhere where he does get recognised, because, you know, for me, he's teetering on being a great player, but just perhaps not given the opportunity, sort of game in, game out for Real Madrid.
Weight loss clinic, do you know?
He was sent to a weight loss clinic, yeah.
I see. Europa League player for Hayley?
I've gone with a young English player. He made his debut as a teenager back in 2011 and was given a start while he came on for Harry Redknapp. But now Mauricio Pochettino has invested in young Harry Kane. He took a turn in goal, didn't he? Lloris came off towards the end. They used up all their subs and kind of went in goal. But hey, he's brave for wanting to step up and do that as somebody. Naturally, it would be one of your defenders who would kind of nip back in goal.
I've got one for Salzburg who's been absolutely different class. Red Bull Salzburg, who have been superb. A couple of the best players, to be fair, have been playing this year. Alan, who plays up front for him, he's got 9 goals. Superb the way he finishes, and his movement off the ball is really good. I'm sure big clubs will be looking at him during the January window if they can get hold of that sort of player like him. They've got another really good guy, Campbell, is it, on the right-hand side of midfield as well.
So, Barcelona, Gerard Piqué I wanted to go for. I thought...
Because of his jumper?
Yeah, probably because of his jumper. Did you see that? Amazing.
I'm going to highlight Raul Rosesco, who plays for Steaua Bucharest. He only played 147 minutes. He's my super sub, by the way. If you're ever looking for a super sub to come on for you, give Raul a call. Not that Raul, but this one, Rosesco.
Well, we're going to round that off with your thoughts and also thoughts from on Twitter. Sean?
Yeah, we got a few tweets in. Chris Wells, make yourself known, Chris. There he is. He's loving the Spurs. Loving, even though Ray Parler's in the house. He's liking that. A lot of people agreeing with you, Hayley, as well, of Harry Kane being the standout performer. Kate Partridge, you look like you've got one on the edge of your tongue.
Right, okay. I'd go with Jonathan Soriano, actually. You're on about Red Bull. No Red Bull, actually. They can't use Red Bull in Europe, can they? They're not allowed to use their wings. They're wingless in Europe, according to advertising. So, yeah, for Salzburg, I'd say Jonathan Soriano. And did you know in 2014 he scored more goals than Cristiano Ronaldo?
There you go. Stat from the floor. Stat from the floor. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for listening to this podcast, because it will be going out on iTunes and Audio Boom, as mentioned. We are going to hang around. We're going to have a Q&A with Ray Parley. We're going to keep a European theme, but we'll ask you about other things as well. So come up with some questions. There are going to be prizes up for grabs in this room. If you're downloading this podcast, I'm sorry, guys. You can't win a phone. You can't win footballs. And you can't win knockout stage tickets. But you can. Hey! Thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much to HTC for their support this season. You can follow us on Twitter at Offside Rule Pod. Use the hashtag HTC Pubcast if you've enjoyed this show, and we'll be back with a Q&A which will release just in time for Christmas. You're a Christmas treat.
Looking forward to that, everyone. So get your questions ready. Anything you like. You know,
Cue the jingle.
Not too personal.
Cue the jingle.
The Offside Rule Euro Show with Kate Bosset, Lindsay Hooper and Hayley McQueen. Brought to you by HTC.
Official smartphone of the UEFA Champions League and UEFA Europa League.